guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm filming this on my work break from lunch. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm filming this on my lunch break from work, so if you hear beeping or anything, it's just my phone and emails, but I can't silence it. So just ignore it. It's what I'm doing right now. But I wanted to come along and film this video all about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I'm also aware this isn't a good look, but I don't care. If you missed my last two videos, I think to do with chronic illness, you may not know what Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a series of connective tissue disorders. They're highly hereditary. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome hypermobility type, which is a specific type in which the collagen within my joints is relatively disordered. You know, it's not a case of lacking collagen as far as I understand. It's a case of having collagen, but it's just not functioning as it should. So basically, long story short, the result of this, one of the key results of this, because it is a multifaceted syndrome that has many I suppose comorbidities and different symptoms that it causes, but the main one for me personally is having constant loose joints. All of my joints in my body are loose and move in and out of place throughout the day, multiple times a day, if not multiple times an hour. So it's a sort of, I suppose it's an illness that you've to learn to live with. I'm very fortunate that my joints sublux rather than fully dislocate, which is really common as well. And a lot of people will tell you it is very common that they will have that. I'm fortunate not really to have that, so I can live relatively normally. However, alongside this, I do have pretty intense exhaustion, chronic pain, digestive issues. My skin won't heal as well. If I get a cut, I'm going to be looking at that cut for the year. It just isn't going to go anywhere. So, you know, I have relatively sensitive skin as well that does cut and tear easily. But then again, not as bad as some people's with EDS. So yeah, in this video, I want to specifically talk about ways in which I cope with my EDS throughout the day, which when I sat down to think about it and write down some things I do, I was pretty much shocked, I guess, at how much I do in the day that's about coping and managing my EDS to make my life as livable as possible. I'm very fortunate at the moment that I'm working from home, and I got to wrap up my master's from home as well, so which meant I had a lot of freedom around how I can move my body and how I could even sit, which is more comfortable for me but may not be socially acceptable within an office space. So, you know, all of that is very important to me. But as I said, EDS does have a series of comorbidities such as postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I also have mild mitral valve prolapse. All of those cause their own issues and are their own conditions related and caused by EDS, in my opinion. But in this video, I want to focus specifically, I guess, on what I do to help my EDS, which is to help my joints, help my energy levels, and to be honest, help my mood as well, because EDS is so, it is quite debilitating. It is very debilitating. It is a chronic illness. It impacts every aspect of your life. And in comparison now, just for, I suppose, context, I'm 26 now, but when I was diagnosed at 22, I think, yeah, I think so, at 22, I was in much worse condition then because I had no coping mechanisms. I had no idea what was wrong with me. I was continually exercising and pushing my body too far and hyper extending my joints and, you know, partially dislocating them, which by doing a range of movement that other people without EDS could do very easily. I just didn't understand the pain associated with my everyday life. So yeah, that is what this video is going to be. So I hope it is helpful. I can do future videos where I go into more detail on each of these steps and things, but I said I'd just include it in a kind of a rapid snapshot format to begin with. And you can let me know if you find it interesting. Thanks, guys. So let's get started. If you see me looking down, it's because I have a list here. Just made a few notes of things to remember that I do in my day, because they're almost so habitual now, and I do them they're so second nature in how I move, that I kind of forget why I'm doing them, and I forget that not everybody has to do these things when they wake up or before bed, or you know, to be able to get to sleep. So yeah, if you do see me glance down, it's just probably to make sure I'm not missing anything. So the first thing I do, which I'm sure this is probably not going to be a surprise if you have EDS, this is such probably an irritating suggestion, but I do stretch every morning, and I do yoga stretches as opposed to dynamic stretching, and I do a yoga routine in the evenings as well. So my stretches in the morning probably consist of very basic, maybe 10 minutes stretching. It's honestly to like unlock my body after the night before I do any rapid movement, like running out the door and getting ready quickly where I might pull something. My yoga routine, I literally only follow Yoga with Adriene here on YouTube because I love her. I love her so much, but I'm also nervous about ever going to a yoga class with EDS because, to be honest, I'm probably quite self-conscious about how much my joints click and crack and move out of place. So that wouldn't feel the best. But yeah, I do some stretching as well, another 10 minutes of simple stretching before bed, just to make sure that when I am lying down, I don't feel particularly locked in a position. Bear in mind, I do understand this isn't always doable. You know, sometimes you're staying overnight at a hotel for a concert or something, and you can't pull out your yoga mat and your stretch bands and everything. But even if it is taking 30 seconds before bed just to like do some neck stretches, or whatever your dominant joint that hurts the most or dislocates the most or subluxes the most is, you can do it sitting in bed. Just do it. Just do it. And also I would say to make it pretty therapeutic. I make it an aspect of my self-care so that I can watch a YouTube video whilst I'm doing it if I'm in the mood for that. Otherwise I can listen to music and do it as a meditative sort of process where I remind myself that I'm taking care of myself. That's something I find incredibly helpful. So that's probably my first step, and that is done intermittently throughout the day. Sometimes it has to be done a good few times throughout the day, depending on the kind of day I'm having at work, and I can get very hunched. I'm sure a lot of people say this. I find it so hard to keep a regular posture and position upright. I find it incredibly tough. So oh my god, I've been losing my voice every single video. But yeah, I do find it hard to keep up integrity in my body because it feels so painful to do so, to be honest. I'm gonna have to take a drink, sorry. That's better. Sorry, I can hear noise in the background.